What's going on, everybody? EJ here. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be making a Canva template from scratch in Photoshop. This is a way that you can get used to Photoshop, because while Canva has amazing templates, and if you don't want to use Photoshop, you definitely do not have to. You can definitely just use Canva. I recommend Canva to lots of entrepreneurs like yourself because it is so easy to use, and you do have such a wide variety of templates that are in the right dimensions that just really help you. They just pretty much do all the groundwork. So if you want to just use Canva, that's great. But if you want to use a program like Photoshop specifically and learn how to use Photoshop, this is a great way to practice with Photoshop, because the Canva templates, there are somewhere straightforward, and so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to be switching back and forth between the camera and my computer, and hopefully we got a new setup going. So if this setup works, I will do a video on how this setup is and what programs I'm using and what equipment I have. So let's cross our fingers and hopefully this works out. So we're going to get into it. First, you need Photoshop. I have the Creative Cloud, but you don't have to get the Creative Cloud. You can actually just buy Photoshop outright, and where you're just only buying the program. There are free trials, so if you wanted to try that out, if you don't have it and you want to do the free trial, go ahead and download that, and so you can follow along. Also, check the blog. The blog link will be on the screen or in the caption somewhere. Check the blog, because the folder, there will be a link to a folder with the practice files in it so that you can practice this exact template that I'm doing. And when you get some time, you can follow along with me. So the template will be in there. Everything I'm going to use will be in the folder. So make sure you check the link to the blog and then download all of the practice files. And I have rambled on enough. So let's get started. Okay, so I already have Photoshop up, and let's see here. So ignore that screen. This is the template that I picked. I picked this one because we have a main picture, which a lot of our posts that we use pictures, and so that's why I picked this one. It has minimal text and minimal design, but it's still impactful. Also, we have a couple different colors, we have a couple different fonts, and then we have a mask. And so we're going to learn how to match the fonts, match the colors, match the little brush stroke that's around the picture, and do all the masks. Like, these are basic things that you need to learn how to do in Photoshop, and so that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is find a picture. Now, we are duplicating this template, not like to the T. So like, we're going to find a picture that is kind of focused really close. Like, you know, we see her torso, we see her face. It's kind of up close. So what I did, I went ahead and found a picture that we're going to use. This is the picture that we're going to use. I just picked this one because the original picture had an African American woman and she was wearing yellow. This picture has an African American woman and she's wearing yellow. That's why I picked it. This is from a website called Pexels. Pexels is a website that allows you to have or to find pictures that you can use for commercial usage. All these pictures were actually taken by actual photographers from around the world. But the way Pexels work is they upload it and then people can download it for free. You can give them something as a donation. You don't have to, but I like Pexels because it's like real pictures that real photographers took, and it's free. So I love Pexels. And it's not just people, it's things and landscapes and flat lays, a whole bunch of stuff. So I highly recommend Pexels. So that's where I got this. Also in the blog post will be the direct link to this picture, and the photographer that took this picture, and I credited her and all that other stuff. So that's in the blog also, so go check the blog. So anyway, I already downloaded this picture, but if when you get to Pexels and find a picture you like, you just click free download. I already downloaded it. It's in the practice file folder when you download it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Photoshop, and we're going to import. So you cannot see, but I am going to my folder, the folder where everything is at, yeah. And we're going to drag and drop it into Photoshop. Unfortunately, you cannot see the menus that I am clicking, but I will save them. I'm going to File, I'm going to New, and I am going to create a blank document. This is where we're going to start our stuff, pretty much. So I am doing a 1080 by 1920. So I forgot to say this is for, let's go back here. I forgot to say this is for an IG or Instagram stories. So the dimension of an Instagram stories is 1080 width and 1920 height. And so that is the dimensions of the new document that we are creating. So just wanted to clarify that. So we're creating it, and the background is just white. We are going to color it, but to start off, it's just white. So we have our picture that we are going to use, and we have our template. I'm actually going to drag our template to be first. This is just personal. Okay, first thing we need to do is we need to get this background color from the template to our version. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the template. At the bottom over here, we're going to go to these two squares on top of each other. It is setting the background and the foreground color, and we're just going to pick the foreground color. As you can see, you have this little droplet. You're going to click the droplet in the background of the template, and this right here comes up. This is the color number. You're going to right click, you're going to Command C or Control C, I think, if you're on a Windows computer. But I'm going to Command C because I'm on a Mac. I'm just going to press cancel because I don't need to do anything here. We're going to go to our template. We're going to create the background. So we're going to press the square button, the rectangle tool over here. Going to draw a rectangle that is bigger than the board because we want to make sure it's there. Now, as you can see, we have that color. I actually already set the foreground color here. There. So over here in our layers, we're going to rename it background. I find that when I'm creating something that has a lot of layers, that you name the layers so that you stay organized, you use folders and all that other type of stuff. You will see that here in a second. So we have our background. Okay, so the picture of the young lady is the biggest part of this. So that's what we're going to focus on first. We're going to go back to our template, go to your file, your practice file. You're going to grab the PNG tree colorful brush strokes, and we're going to drag it over into our Photoshop document or our Photoshop window. Again, up here, not like in the document, but just up here at the top. And so we're going to pick one of these brush strokes. Now, again, we are using a template as a guide. We are not doing it exactly, but we're using it as a guide. But I like this one, this blue one in the lower left hand corner. And so first, I like the PNG tree, which I will have a link to that also in the practice file so that you can go to that website, because they give you these elements pretty much, and they have the transparent background. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the one that we want right here. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on a toolbar on the left again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down is the selection tool. I'm going to click that. Up here at the top, this is selected and that's what you want, and we're going to press plus. So this means I do want this. Let's say so actually let me just give an example. So I just clicked and dragged and it selected easily because the background is transparent. So we have this selected, and so we're going to go to the move tool, which is the first one in the toolbar. Gonna click it, and you see that we now have the whole brush stroke. Dragging this pretty much out of this document, hold it over the name of our template we're making, and dropping it in there. Then as you can see, it's right there. So we are going to rename this brush stroke because that's what it is, and I can spell. So go back to the template, we see that this background behind the picture is pretty big, so we need to make ours bigger. So you're going to go up to edit, transform, and then scale. Again, I'll have these instructions on the screen because unfortunately you can't see me going to the different menus, unfortunately, and I apologize for that. I wasn't aware that it wouldn't do that, but you live and you learn. Okay, so we did edit, transform, scale, and so we're going to just drag till we get it about as big as we want it to get. Let's see, is that about right? I think so. That looks about good. So we're going to come up here, press the check mark. It was up in the right hand corner. Let's go look at our template. Yeah, it's kind of in the middle, kind of big. Let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. Or do we like that side better? You know, I think I like this side better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit again, transform, rotate. And then you see the arrow now has a bend in it because you just go to a corner and you do that. And I rotate it. I could also do, we're going to accept that with the check mark. Okay, I'm going to go to edit, transform, scale again. Make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. All right, awesome. Now we are going to close out of the brush stroke because we don't need that anymore. And don't be concerned that this is blue. Do not be concerned. Don't be concerned. All right, so now we're going to go back into our practice folder. We're going to get that picture that we downloaded from Pexels, and we're going to drag and drop it just in our template. And you're going to press the check mark up here to accept it. Yes, this covers everything. Do not be concerned. I am going to rename this. We're just going to say lady because we only have one picture, and that's okay. I just so you know what it is. It is okay that it's too big because what we're going to do is we're going to create a clipping mask. So lady is on top of brush stroke. We're going to right click lady. And that's not showing up either, but I am so sorry about all these, but it's okay. Just follow my instructions. Going to hover, make sure that, so you see how brushstroke is highlighted and now lady is highlighted. You're going to right click lady once lady is highlighted, and you're going to go to create clipping mask. You're going to clip that. As you can see, the picture is now inside of the brushstroke. The brushstroke is no longer blue, and it is what it is. Now, you can, as you can see, lady is still highlighted over here onto the right in the layers, and I can move this around. Now, in our template, the girl's hair is kind of cut off, but she's still the main focus. So we can adjust this as necessary. Let's say we wanted the lady here, but you see how on the left side we still have some blue. So with lady highlighted, go to edit, transform, scale. We can make it bigger, do what we need to do. I actually like that right there. Press the check mark, and voila, we have that set. Great. So we're doing good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to input the text. It is not spring, but we're just going to use the same words. So first we're going to do the say hello to wonderful beginnings text. We see it's cursive. And so what I did is I went to 1001 fonts. Let me get my screen up here. 1001 fonts. 1001 fonts is a website that literally has a whole bunch of fonts, and you can find something that you like and download and use it. So what I did before is I went through different categories of fonts. You click here to font categories and find a font that looked like the template. So this is what I found that was close enough that I was happy with, and it's called Adeline, I think. So I'm gonna go back to Photoshop, and when you find a font that you want to use, just install it per the directions. Normally, on the Mac, all you do is when you download it, it downloads in a zip file, so you have to have a program that can open a zip file, and you double click on it and it automatically installs. Not sure how it does on Windows computers, but I'm assuming kind of similar. Hopefully it's kind of similar. So we're gonna say hello to wonderful beginnings. So we're gonna go back to our template. We're going to click this T in the toolbar on the left. I'm gonna do here. The up at the top is the size. I'm just gonna make it big just so I can see. Oh, the color is off. So the color is at the top. So we have the font. We have the font choices. We have the other choices that font has, the size, a whole bunch of other stuff. Then this box with the color in it is the color of the font. We're gonna make it black. And right now we're just gonna type in the words. So say hello to, is it wonderful? Wonderful. Okay, we know it's big. That's okay. So we press the check mark to make it, to accept it. I'm gonna click on the move tool just to move it over. And go back to the text tool. I'm gonna highlight everything and add a line. There it is right there. Perfect. See, it's great. Okay, let's look at our template. So it looks like it is to the left, so it's not centered, so that's fine, but it is kind of going up at an angle. So let's go back to our template. We're going to make sure that this text layer is highlighted. So we got lady, the brush stroke, the background, and then the text. Make sure it's highlighted. We're gonna go to edit, transform, rotate. I'm gonna rotate it, move it down to where we're happy. I think I'm gonna go back to edit, transform, scale, make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, that looks good. Cool. Say hello to wonderful beginning. So we're doing good. So yes, the font is not exactly the same, but it's okay. I also made mine a little bit bigger, but I think it's because my brush stroke was bigger. But again, we're just not doing it, tit for tat, just making and practicing and doing our best. Okay, so then the next, we have this other text down here on the template from Canva where it says ready, take out those spring ready pastels and dresses. For this one, the font that I found was called Pakenham, I think. So I just clicked, so the T was still highlighted, and I just clicked somewhere on the background and it automatically created a layer. I'm just gonna say ready for those pastels. That's all I'm gonna type. Let's highlight it. Go up here, Pakenham. Let's make it smaller. We're going to accept that. Go to the move tool, which is over on the left. Let's make it centered. You see those pink lines? Those pink lines help you line up different elements in your document. And so I think it looks good like that, centered with the girl. Even though it's smaller on the Canva one, I think this is just fine. Now again, this is for IGTV, so this little box right here, where it says place countdown sticker here, that's one of the like the gifts that you can do when you post it. So we're not going to worry about that. The last thing we need to do are these circles. So go back to your template. We're going to go to the file and we're going to go to the PNG tree watercolor seamless pattern vector file. Drag it over. Voila. We're going to move it over just so it's closer to our document, which we haven't saved yet. I would save it, but we'll do it in a second. So again, our colors are different than their colors, but again, we're doing it our way. So let's look at the template. We're going to do these first two in the upper right hand corner, the first two circles, and they're two different colors. So we're going to go back to that selection tool in the toolbar on the left where it's 4 down. Let's click this one. Go to move tool, drag, go to ours and drop it. I'm just going to leave it that size for right now. And then let's take the selection tool. Let's take this one. Oh, that's nice. Let's do plus. Let's take this one. Then back to the move tool. Move it. All right. Now in the Canva template, these two are overlapping in the upper right hand corner. So in ours, we have this layer one is this reddish one. So we're gonna name that reddish. I don't know what color you would call that. We're gonna call it reddish. Then this one is the purple one. So we're gonna say purple. And what we're going to do is overlap them how we would want them to be overlapped. So our template, it's kind of a little bit overlapped to the right. Let's say that. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we highlight the purple layer. On the Mac, you're going to do Command and then click the reddish layer. I want to say on Windows, it's probably Control or Shift, I think. But you want both of these layers highlighted because then what we're going to do, we're going to go to Edit, Transform, you guessed it, Scale, and it actually will scale both of them at the same time. Instead of trying to guess what size which one is, we did it both at the same time. And that's easy peasy. Now I like those two circles there, so I'm going to move the say hello to new beginnings over, or wonderful beginnings, sorry, whatever. Cool. Perfect. Okay. So we got 3 more we need to do. 2 of the same color and 1 of the other color down at the bottom. So let's do, we're back on our watercolor section. We're going to deselect that, press the plus. I like this color right here, the middle one. So we're going to do that one. I selected it, the move tool. Gonna move it over, put that here. Let's call that pinkish, just so we know what color it is. Now, as far as the layers go, wherever your layers are, that's how they're layered literally on the document. So right now, the pinkish the pinkish dot is underneath the ready for those pastels. So you see you can do this and we see pastels. If we were to take the pinkish layer and just click and drag and move it, now the pinkish is on top of that text. And so if you ever can't see something, just make sure that your layers are where they need to be. Then we're gonna do edit, transform, scale. Let's make this right there. Now we're going to right click pinkish and we're going to go to duplicate layer. And it's just gonna say pinkish copy, and we're just gonna move down. Let's put it right there. Let's go back to our watercolors, go back to selection tool. Let's take this one right here. I'm going to deselect that one. You could just go to selection, deselect also if you wanted to, but I didn't. Let's take that one, we're gonna put it here. And I like this little messy part on the left of this one. Let's name this one Peach. So we're going to do edit, transform, rotate. Yes, it rotated out, but we still have this box so we can see where it is. We moved it over. Did edit, transform, scale. There are shortcuts for these. I think I was starting to say that. There are shortcuts for some of these, but we're not going to get into that today. Let's see, I like that right there. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so I think we're actually good. I'm gonna close out the, don't say it. I'm gonna close out the watercolor one. I think this is actually pretty close. It really is. This is actually pretty close to the same. So we have all the same elements, a little bit different, a little bit of our own style on it, which is how you should do things. You shouldn't do things like specifically exactly the same unless you're making something for somebody and that's specifically what they want. If you're just using these Canva templates as inspiration, put your own little spin on it, it'll be okay. But I think this is good. I do. I think this is good. So what I'm going to do is something we should have done at the beginning, so my fault, but make sure you save it. So we're gonna go to file, save as. We're gonna save this as a JPEG. There's no transparent parts of this, so we don't have to do PNG. I would definitely save it at the beginning. If you're on a Mac, you can do Command S just randomly and it will save it. On Windows, I want to say it's Control S or Shift S, something like that. But if you save it, go ahead and save as at the beginning. You can just do that randomly, so in case something happens, you don't lose all of your work, because that would suck. But that's it. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Again, this is the Canva one, our inspiration. This is the one that we made. So we have the picture instead of the brush stroke with the text, the two different fonts with the little circles around it. It's pretty much the same format. So then after this, what you would do is you would get it to your phone. However you do that, if you have Apple products, which is one of the reasons why I have Apple products, you can use AirDrop, which is very quick and easy. You can email it to yourself. You can use things like Google Drive or Dropbox or something to that effect. Get it to yourself, and then you can post it, and then you're done. And you got experience with Photoshop, and you're building your confidence and able to do more stuff. So I hope that this helped. I hope that this showed you how to do some basic stuff in Photoshop. The next one I'm going to do, we'll do some harder things, but it will all still come together because I'm going to show you how to still create your stuff with the things that we learn. So I'm going to end it here because it's been long enough. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next IGT video or YouTube video, wherever you're watching this. Make sure you click the link in below the description bar, the bio link, wherever you're watching this, and go to the blog and download the practice folder because all the files will be in there, and there will be a little write-up also, so that will help you learn, and some shortcut things and some things you need to remember. And I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share this with somebody that may help, that you think this would help. And make sure you save it for yourself. All right, see you guys later.